To mobilize flexion in the carpal row, what we're going to do is identify which parts of our joint partners between scaphoid and radius is going to be gliding volar or palmar during flexion, and that in this case is going to be the radius. The scaphoid has a convexity, so it is gliding dorsally as it is rolling volarly. The radius is relatively gliding and rolling volarly. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my middle finger, I'm going to place it under the scaphoid at the volar surface. I'm going to place my thumb as a support point on Lister's tubercle. Index finger is always free to allow for that movement to occur. I place my thenar eminence on the Lister's tubercle, take up the soft tissue slack, and give a little bit of extra exerted pressure. Okay. To show that on the skeleton, the radius will hang off. The scaphoid is supported by the towel. I put my middle finger under the scaphoid. My proximal thumb is placed on Lister's tubercle. I'm going to put thenar on my thumb, lean down, and give it overpressure. Okay, good. That's scaphoid radius. Now we want to do trapezoid scaphoid. And in this instance, the trapezoid is concave, so we're going to be able to push that in a volar or palmar direction to improve the flexion movement. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the support of a wedge padded by a towel. Good. I will place scaphoid on the towel, on the wedge, and on my middle finger. Index fingers free. Remember here too, we've got this oblique position of the trapezoid on the scaphoid, so we'll put the hand in a slightly oblique position, and then I'm going to put thumb on trapezoid, thenar on thumb, put my shoulder over the joint surfaces, take up the soft tissue slack, and give overpressure. Good. Let's do that on our person. Okay, so scaphoid in trapezoid to improve palmar flexion. I'm going to put my middle finger underneath the scaphoid, my index finger on the trapezoid, position the arm in a slightly oblique position on the wedge, place my thenar over my thumb, making sure trapezoid is free, take up the soft tissue slack, and give overpressure. Okay, now when that is complete, I can do my local neuromuscular reeducation. And as I said before, these techniques can be used also as a type of mobilization if that's your preference. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stabilize the scaphoid, and I'm going to bring the forearm in a flexion position. So it's a relative flexion by dropping the forearm and gliding at the same time into the hand into flexion, ulnar deviation, and supination. Okay, I can ask my patient to help me. Okay, reach down. Good, reach down. Reach down. Good. Stay down, give a little bit of resistance, pull up, and pull down again, thereby loading the joint to get new kind of awareness that the joint can go in that direction. And then we will do trapezoid in relation to the scaphoid. Here, I'm going to stabilize the scaphoid, and I'm going to take the trapezoid and I'm going to actually push it in a volar direction, push it in a volar direction, back to neutral, volar direction. If I want to simply mobilize, I will just push in that volar direction. Okay. But neuromuscular re-education, we go in further range. I'll say, okay, now throw a dart with me. Come back, good, and throw, good. Come back and throw, and I guide the motion. Come back and throw, very good. One more time, and I'm going to say hold, good. Now pull down, good, and back up, very good, and relax. And in so doing, I've mobilized the radial column of the wrist.